Was I wrong about the housing market not crashing? Was I wrong about the housing market? And are we going to go into a spiral? Please wait till the end of this video. I'll talk to you about where we are in the housing market. Are we going to crash? And are people mass exiting California? If you like the information you see on this channel, please subscribe. Please ask questions. I'm always happy to let people know different thoughts. And also, if any questions come up that you are interested in knowing, please feel free to reach out to me anytime. This is Silicon Valley Living. So the question becomes, are we crashing? I said before, and I kind of said it tongue in cheek, and interest rates go up, and when we have a recession or when we have inflation, those are two times that the housing market actually appreciates. Well, you know what? Right now, we're not seeing that appreciation. In fact, I've got some slides here that I'm going to show you. I like to look at facts. I like to look at what's actually happening with something tangible. And so I want to show you that. And so currently, if you look at Santa Clara County, and if you look from September 21 to current, so September 21, the average sales price in Santa Clara County for single-family homes was $2,040,000. And the current sales price is $1,993,000. The big difference actually is going to be if you look at April of 2022 at 2.3. So that's a 14% difference from April of 2022 to now. So there are some adjustments happening. If you look at the inventory is going to be, when you put a house on the market, how long is the inventory going to last from the time that you put it on the market to the time it's going to sell, and that's going to be the total amount of inventory. And so you'll be looking at the amount of months that houses have inventory, and these specific stats are going to be specifically Santa Clara County. And so if you look at January of 2019 and January of 2022, January of 2019 was 2.4 months. In 2022 was 0.9 months. In July of 2019 was 1.9 months, and in July of 2022 was 2.2 months. So what does that mean? So that means the inventory has changed slightly. Now, we have two main counties in Silicon Valley, and it can be up for debate here or there, but the main counties are going to be Santa Clara County and San Mateo County. And if you look at San Mateo County is also similar. San Mateo County, if you look at September of 2021, 2,419,000 was the average. If you look at August of 2022, the average sales price is 2.3. Again, not a huge stretch. It's $100,000. If you're looking at across the board, not a tremendous stretch. But if you do look at March and April, and actually May of 2022, 2.7. So that's actually a 15% adjustment. So there is an adjustment there again. So again, 2021 to 2022, not that huge of adjustment, but if you look at March and April of 2022 versus now, it's a 15% adjustment. So there is an adjustment there. And if you look at the inventory for San Mateo County, the inventory is, and if you started again, January 2019, 2.4 months, January 2022, 1.2 months, July 1.5 months, July of 2019, and July of 2022, 2 months. So what I'm saying is I was wrong that we're going to be flying into the interest rates hiking up, and that we're going to see the prices continue to adjust up. Now, if you do look at what was 2008 versus now, there are some really big differences. Right now, we're going into an interest rate hike. In 2008, we were in a market crashing. And so one of the things they did was they had to cut the interest rates down very, very far. And so even with those interest rates cutting down very, very far, we're in a different position then than we are now. So if you look at the supply of homes then versus now, there's a big difference still. So today, and this is actually nationwide. So today there's 3 months supply of inventory nationwide, and back then there was actually 9 months and up to 10.4 months of inventory. So that was a true buyer's market at that point. Another thing, if you look at, is the lending standards. The lending standards there, and this is based on the Mortgage Credit Availability Index, the MCAI, and the housing bubble, that index was 868.7, and now it's 119.6. So what that indicates is how easy is it to get money? How easy is it to get a loan? how can you purchase a property? So those are the things that are different. The foreclosure activity, and I hear this a lot too. I turn the news on for 5 seconds and I hear about foreclosures. And if you look at the difference there, it's actually pretty tremendous as well. So the foreclosure activity then in 2010, which was the peak, was 2.9 million. The foreclosure activity now is 151,000. So again, there's a tremendous shift in 2010 versus 2022. And so when you're looking at these things, there's a tremendous difference. And that's the 151,000 is actually from 2021. So still a tremendous difference. Now, with all of this said, one of the questions that comes down then is, are we in a seller's market or are we in a buyer's market? What might interest you to know is that between 0 and 4 months of inventory is still technically a seller's market. And how crazy is that? It's still a seller's market, but we're able to negotiate more with the sellers. If I'm representing a buyer, I can negotiate more with the sellers. Now again, I'm speaking specifically to Silicon Valley. Is there a difference in the prices? Yes, there's a big difference, 14 to 15% difference in the prices now than they were from the peak, which was just last year. And so if you look at the difference there, that 15%, that 14%, now the interest rates have hiked up. And so the question becomes, are the interest rates going to start coming back down? Technically, we're still in this seller's market. I don't know what the feds are going to do, but the feds have really pushed interest rates up in order to tame the inflation. And that's what they do, and that's really their position, is to help keep inflation under wraps. They kind of missed the mark, but we can leave them alone for that. We're kind of in a position where we just need them to do what they can to get things done. And so ultimately, we're currently in the seller's market. We have adjusted, but the question becomes, as the stock market for us in Silicon Valley is always what I see to be one of the biggest trends. When the stock market gets beat up, people don't want to buy houses as much because a lot of people do exercise their stocks in order to purchase. And so people do back off from purchasing when the stock market's not doing so well. Stock market's not doing great right now. And so what I would venture to guess is that if you're a serious buyer and you can afford to purchase a home still with the higher interest rates, definitely still purchase. If you're a serious seller, the overall price of your home has come down 14 to 15%. It's time to sell. It's time to buy when it's time to buy. It's time to sell when it's time to sell. And as a buyer, if you're in a position where you can purchase now with a higher interest rate, purchase now with a higher interest rate, you can refinance later on. And when the stock market comes back and when we're doing better again overall and the housing prices are coming back up again, they're going to come back up. So if you're a seller and you're not in a position to wait, or if you're a seller and you're okay with that 14 or 15% adjustment, I'll tell you sincerely, a serious seller truly is going to sell their home. They're not going to just wait. So if you're a seller and you're like, oh, you know what, I really want to sell, but I don't want to sell, then quite frankly, you're not a seller. And if you're a buyer, oh, I want to buy, but I really want to wait for the bottom, quite frankly, you're not a buyer. Sorry, but it's true. And so that's kind of the overall take on are we in a crash? No, I don't believe we're in a crash. The next question is there a mass exodus out of California? Now, this one I'm not sure about, right? I've got some statistics here as well. And this is also a conversation that comes up many times. I talk to many people about this. Everybody's getting out of California. And I talk to people who are Californians, who are born as Californians, who love California. I love California and I love living here. My family loves living here. It's a wonderful place. So the question becomes, is there a mass exodus out of California? The answer is you can actually look at the migration stats. It's the California Department of Finance. And so if you look over the course of time, and again, I'm actually going back to 2010 to 2011, a lot of people came into California. There were 68,000 people coming into California. Between 2010 and 2015, there was a total of 266,743 people who actually came into California. And then over the course of 2015 to 2021, there was a total of 598,718 people who left California. If you look at that, there are people leaving California. There's going to be different reasons for it. I don't know the specific reasons. The information that I was able to look at and pull up doesn't actually give specific reasons. So if we look at the net migration, in 2010 to 2011, there's actually 68,240 people who actually came to California. And if you look at between 2020 and 2021, there were 249,239 people who left California. So there are a lot of people leaving California for different reasons. I'm not sure why they are. However, people have their own reasons. In 2010, the population was 37,363,368. In 2021, the population was 39,368,613. And so the population of California has still grown. It's still a large population. So across the board, is there a mass exodus of people leaving California? I don't see it. The statistics don't show it necessarily. But of course, the question always comes down to, what do you want to do? How do you feel comfortable? I think that we can always look at things, and there's always a lot of fear mongering, right? And so the fear mongering is always going to be front and foremost, just like you hear something negative 10 times to everything, one thing that's positive. And so ultimately, people will always move around. We're always going to migrate one way or the other. And there's always going to be people who do. And yes, are there more people who left in 2021? Between 2020 and 2021 versus 2010, there are. People came in 2010. 2020 and 2021, a lot of people left. We're also having a huge pandemic. And is the overall housing market crashing? It doesn't look like it. What it does look like is it looks like there's an adjustment. So those are the answers. I still don't think there's a housing market crash. I don't think that there's a mass exodus out of California. These are the information, these are the facts that I'm looking at. If you have different facts, I'm happy to take a look because I'm always interested in learning more things. If you do move, and also I do have a franchise with Freedom Move USA. If you do need to move, whether it's into California, whether it's out of California, whether it's just neighborhood to neighborhood, if you need to move, please let me know. I can get you a tremendous discount between $10,000 and $25,000 is the discount I can actually get you on moving. It's actually a tremendous discount. Moving is one of the most stressful things that people go through in life. And it just so happens that I help people sell and buy homes. And so I tend to be a part of that stress. And I do see people who are very stressed out, and moving a lot of times does come up. So that's why I actually am working with Freedom Move USA. If you do have any questions on that, please feel free to reach out at any time. Please subscribe if you like what you see, and make comments as well. Have a wonderful day. If you need anything from me at all, I'm always here and happy to help. Take care.